You run out of time long before you run out of strength. That's the survival rule everyone breaks under stress, and most people don't even realize they've broken it until everything is already going wrong. Here's the thing nobody tells you when panic hits. Your body doesn't fail first, your judgment does. The moment stress spikes, your brain starts lying to you in very convincing ways. It tells you to move faster, do more, cover ground, fix everything right now. And that instinct feels logical, almost heroic. But in real survival situations, collapse, blackout, disaster, grid down, speed without control is what quietly kills people. Not immediately, slowly, through exhaustion, mistakes, exposure, and compounding errors. Under stress, your nervous system flips into fight-or-flight mode. That's biology doing what it evolved to do, but it was designed for short bursts, not prolonged crises. Adrenaline narrows your vision, literally and mentally. You stop scanning wide and start tunneling on whatever feels urgent. That's why people forget water while chasing food, forget rest while chasing safety, forget concealment while chasing movement. The survival rule you're breaking is simple but brutal. Slow is smooth, and smooth is fast. Militaries drill this endlessly because they learned the hard way that rushed decisions create chaos, and chaos multiplies danger. When you force yourself to slow down, you actually regain cognitive bandwidth. Your fine motor skills improve, your awareness widens, your error rate drops. Survival isn't a sprint, it's a controlled burn. The second way people break this rule is by overreacting to uncertainty. Stress makes ambiguity feel unbearable, so you try to eliminate it by acting. You move just to feel productive. You change locations because standing still feels wrong. But physics doesn't care about your feelings. Every movement costs calories, creates sound, leaves traces, and increases exposure. In unstable environments, stillness is not inaction, it's information gathering. When you pause, you let patterns reveal themselves. Sound travels, human behavior repeats, threats expose themselves over time. The people who survive longest aren't the ones who move the most, they're the ones who move with intention. This section is based on practical field survival experience rather than formal academic sources. Then there's the biological trap almost nobody recognizes, fatigue disguising itself as confidence. After prolonged stress, cortisol stays elevated and adrenaline starts feeling normal. You mistake that chemical buzz for clarity. You think you're adapting when you're actually degrading. Reaction time slow, grip strength weakens, decision-making becomes impulsive. This is why experienced operators enforce rest even when it feels unnecessary. Rest isn't recovery, it's damage prevention. Sleep deprivation alone can impair judgment as severely as alcohol. The survival rule here is non-negotiable. You protect your brain before you protect your plans. Forced rest, hydration discipline, and simple routines stabilize your nervous system enough to keep you thinking instead of reacting. Another rule people shatter under stress is revealing capability. Panic makes you want to prove control, showing supplies, showing strength, showing preparedness. But in collapse scenarios, visibility attracts pressure. Humans are energy-efficient predators. They look for opportunity, not confrontation. The more capable you appear, the more attention you draw. Concealment beats intimidation almost every time. This isn't about fear, it's about effort economics. If accessing you looks costly, people move on. If you advertise readiness, you become a problem to be solved. The smartest survivors look boring, tired, unremarkable. They don't win by dominance, they win by being overlooked. Stress also shatters time perception. Minutes feel like hours, hours feel compressed, and people lose the ability to pace themselves. That's how small injuries become big ones. A hurried step leads to a fall. A hurried decision leads to a cut. A neglected wound becomes an infection. Medical systems collapse fast, but bacteria don't. The survival rule here is ruthless simplicity. Avoid injury at all costs. You don't climb unless you must. You don't run unless you're forced. You don't take shortcuts just to save time. Time saved early is usually paid back with interest later. And here's the most dangerous rule people break under stress. They stop questioning their own assumptions. The brain under threat wants certainty, so it clings to the first explanation that reduces anxiety. That noise was nothing. This area is safe. I've got this under control. Assumptions harden into decisions without being tested. Survival science and military doctrine both emphasize constant reassessment because environments change faster than beliefs. The moment you feel confident, you need to slow down even more. Confidence without verification is just delayed failure. By the time most people realize they're breaking these rules, they're already exhausted, exposed, and behind the curve. Not because they were weak, because stress hijacked their decision-making and convinced them urgency was the answer. It never is. Survival isn't about reacting harder. It's about resisting the urge to react at all. It's about sitting still when everything screams at you to rush. It's about sitting still when movement feels safer. It's about choosing discipline over instinct again and again, even when instinct feels right. That's the survival rule everyone breaks under stress. And if you can hold on to it when everything inside you wants to let go, you give yourself something most people never get in a collapse scenario. Time. Time to think. Time to adapt. Time to survive.
And here's where that rule gets broken the hardest. Right when you think you're doing better. Because once you survive the initial shock, once you've made a few good decisions in a row, stress mutates. It doesn't disappear, it changes shape. It turns into urgency disguised as confidence. You start thinking, I know how this works now, and that thought is more dangerous than panic ever was. Under prolonged stress, the brain starts optimizing for speed instead of accuracy. Neurologically, your amygdala stays active, while your prefrontal cortex, the part that handles judgment, restraint, and long-term planning, gets tired. That's when people start stacking small risks. One shortcut here, one extra movement there, one decision made without fully stopping to think. None of them feel fatal, but survival failure almost never comes from one big mistake. It comes from 5 small ones made too close together. This is why experienced survivors, soldiers, and field operators all follow a rule that sounds boring but saves lives. Pause before action, every time, even when you're sure, especially when you're sure. A deliberate pause resets your nervous system just enough to widen perception. You notice details you missed. You hear sounds you ignored. You realize you're tired, thirsty, rushed. That pause isn't wasted time, it's error correction. This section is based on practical field survival experience rather than formal academic sources. Another way stress breaks the rule is through what I call task obsession. Under pressure, your brain latches onto a goal: get water, secure shelter, move location, and then refuses to let go even when conditions change. You keep pushing toward the task even after it stops making sense. This is how people walk into bad areas because they already started. It's how injuries happen late in the day when energy is gone, but ego says finish the job. The survival correction here is brutal honesty. Unfinished tasks are not failures. Injuries are. Exposure is. Once your risk curve spikes, the smartest move is stopping, not finishing. Then there's the social trap. Stress pushes people to seek reassurance or dominance. Talking too much, explaining plans, showing competence. But every word you speak is information. Every plan you share becomes leverage. Under collapse conditions, information is a resource, and leaking it under stress is how people lose control of situations they could have avoided. Silence isn't paranoia, it's protection. You don't owe clarity to anyone outside your trust circle. And under stress, that circle should be very small. Biology keeps collecting its debt, too. Missed sleep compounds, dehydration sneaks up, blood sugar drops, and your brain quietly shifts from strategic thinking to emotional decision-making. You feel more irritated, less patient, more certain. That's not adaptation, that's degradation. The rule you must protect at this stage is rhythm. Regular hydration, scheduled rest even if you don't feel tired, simple food at consistent times. Rhythm stabilizes biology, and stable biology produces better decisions. Survival is not heroic, it's methodical. Eventually, the moment arrives where everything inside you wants to rush, to move, to act, to do something. That's the moment the rule matters most, because stress always lies the loudest right before it causes the most damage. If you can slow down there, if you can breathe, observe, and wait while others react, you separate yourself from the failure curve almost instantly. This is the uncomfortable truth. Most people don't fail because they lack supplies, skills, or courage. They fail because stress convinces them that speed equals safety. It never does. Safety comes from control, from pacing, from choosing discipline over impulse again and again until it becomes automatic. That's why the survival rule everyone breaks under stress isn't about strength, weapons, or preparation. It's about restraint, the ability to slow yourself when every instinct says hurry, to pause when fear demands action, to think when panic wants motion. If you remember nothing else, remember this: the environment doesn't defeat you. Your reaction to it does. And the moment you stop letting stress set your tempo, you stop being predictable, sloppy, and vulnerable. That's when survival stops being luck and starts being skill.